So good morning all, out with RB and ride test on this LXS Euro 5 in the fluoro. And just a quick look around the bike, absolutely beautiful this one. I do like the LXS apart from the fact that I am slightly cramped with my longer legs, but it's rideable, it's very nice. Now this one is going out to Kinjal, and she happens to be the partner of the Rhythmic Biker, Motovlogger, and good friend of mine as well. So we are taking extra care with this, all the bells and whistles on this, full ride test, really pulling all the stops out on this one. And not just simply the fact that he's a big motovlogger, it's the fact that he's one of my friends as well. But we're going to do exactly the same as we do for every single customer. Ride test on the bike, get the mileage on it, and get it up to speed, and check the bike all over. Now it's already had one ride test around the yard. Now obviously I have been on holiday for a week. There was a slight delay and a hiccup with, not with the bike, but with obviously the finance team. Took them ages to get it sorted out, but a couple of phone calls placed, sorted, job done, finance in place, everything good to go. So obviously this is her bike, and she came in, she had a look at the LXR, she had a look at the LXS, and she was better seated on the LXS. Obviously because she's a shorter rider. Grant had to sit on it, blimey, it is small in it compared to the LXR. Yes, the LXR is a full-blown, full-size machine, the LXS is the smaller version. Only difference being, LXS under-seat exhaust, you've got that full digital display in front, single colour display in front, whereas the LXR has the digital and the analog displays. Of the two, which one do I like? I like both of them. I do like the LXR, it's my preferred choice, but obviously the LXS is a good ride. It's just that my feet, obviously being longer in the leg, are right up on the tank. Is it uncomfortable? No, it's not. It's just a totally different riding style. And obviously after years and years of sports bikes, I still do love a sports bike, even though I have a tourer now. And obviously if you want to follow Rhythmic Biker, he's on all the pages. You can find him on Facebook, find him on YouTube, riding with Uncle Red. Go and look at Uncle Red and that Vulcan, he's a good friend of Uncle Red's. And also Rhythmic Biker happens to hang out with DMR rider group out of Hemel Hempstead, so Decorum motorcycle riders, go and check their page out, they're on Facebook as well, DMR. Very good bunch of guys down there, and we tend to ride out with those guys last Sunday of every month. Now obviously I had a ride out this Sunday to the Super Sausage, but most of the guys were either on holiday, going off on holiday, coming back from holiday, or out for other reasons. So I had a nice little ride on my own up to Super Sausage on Sunday, which was fun. But obviously final ride test on this, it is coming in as soon as I get back. It's going across to my new bike tech that we've got. So we've got a new bike tech in the garage now, very good young lad called Adam, who has now obviously taken over doing all the prep for me. So it takes a bit of weight off of my shoulders. So it's in for a full ACF, clean, buff off, and a check over of all the nuts and bolts. QCs have all been done. All we've got to do is obviously register the bike this morning for Kinjal, which I tend to do on the morning, so you get your full tax, you get your full 2-year warranty on it. A lot of dealers will obviously sell a bike, get the bike registered ASAP, and if it takes them a week or so to do it, you've lost a week of your warranty. So we tend to do it on the morning of handover, knock it all through, get it all registered, happy days. So as I said, this one's going out to Kinjal. It's a lovely ride, all the levers are all in the right positions, all the bolts have all been checked, clutch bite is absolutely perfect, everything is working on it, indicators, lights, horn, blah 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 blah. So happy days, just up to me to knock some mileage onto the bike. Now obviously with these LXRs and LXSs, we've not had an issue with any of them so far, apart from that very first LXR that decided it was going to catch something in the radiator and pierce the radiator, so we had to have a rad change on that. But all good so far. Never had an issue on any of the LXRs and LXSs. Obviously we're doing a lot of Titans as well. Titans can be a bit quirky, and that's just down to the build quality, but it is getting better. Obviously a lot better than what the Euro 4s were, so they are getting better in the factory. But we do tend to pick up on the build quality of some of the bikes, and hence why we do a PDI, QC and a second lot of bolt checks, because it picks up on absolutely everything that we do. So a couple of blasts up and down the dual carriageway, nice steady 40 to 45 mile an hour, and as I always say, get through the box as quick as you can and then get your revs on. Don't go ragging it in every gear, just get the power on. We shift lanes again, quick shoulder check, move myself over, back around the roundabout, down the other side of the dual carriageway, and then we'll do the hill climb. Now obviously if you happen to be about this week, petrol is scarce. It is like gold dust at the moment. Lots of petrol stations still have fuel, but everybody is still being a numpty and brimming their tank to the top. And we had it the other day. I actually pulled in on the way home to get my Costa coffee and shot across to the Shell to get some cigarettes. And I was getting my cigarettes. Guy was like, "Oh, what pump you want?" "Number 3. "Oh, just a £5. "Yeah, I've just topped my tank up, mate." Why would you need to top your tank up with just a £5? People being absolute numpties and just trying to keep their tanks full because, oh, there's a petrol shortage. No, there isn't a petrol shortage. It's a shortage of drivers, and that is all it is. It's just getting the fuel to the pumps. If everybody behaved themselves and just got their fuel as normal, there would not be a shortage. So that's all I'm going to say on the petrol crisis. So another quick run down the other side of the dual carriageway, get the obligatory mileage on. And that under-seat exhaust does sound good. It's not as loud as the LXR, but it still sounds quite throaty. Through the box as quick as we can. Two shoulder checks, move myself out. Now the mirrors on these, absolutely love them. Nice and super wide. They're like little butterfly antennas sticking out there, and they do the job very, very well. And the one thing I do like about these, you've got a pass light, so you can flash the traffic back in if you've got a lorry coming past you. Nice steady 45 mile an hour, knocking the mileage up in 6th gear. Now servicing regimes, I'm going to knock on about servicing regimes again. I keep going on about it, and I'm going to keep hammering on until it hits home. Servicing 500 miles or first 3 months. The next one is 3,000 or 6 months, and then it goes yearly after that, every 3,000 miles. It's all in miles now, not Ks, thank God. But servicing regime has been lengthened out a little bit, and you can transfer your warranty to second owner now, which is what you could not do on the previous Euro 4s. So obviously all the Euro 5s now, you can now move your warranty over second owner. So if someone buys the bike, happy days, job is a good one. If you are looking at a second-hand bike, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't afford a new one," but I've seen this second-hand bike that I want to look at. Okay, what do I look for? Well, first thing, start the bike up. Is there any unusual noises from the engine? Give the wheels a good backwards and forwards wobble. Check the bearings in the wheels, check the condition of your tyres, check the bike is not smoking. Get the bike on a main stand and just work your way through the gearbox. Obviously you may have to let the clutch out. Just check it goes through up and down the gearbox all right. You might have to just drop the clutch a little bit just to get a bit of a click through the gearbox, but it should go up and down all right. And then finally put it in first gear and let the clutch out. Find where the bike point is. Hold the front brake on, can you stall the bike by letting the clutch out and holding the front brake, or is it just going to sit there and spin? If it is, you've got clutch slip. That's one thing to check on a clutch. And then just a general look over. Does it look like there's been any scrapes, or does it look like the bike has been dropped? And then obviously haggle your price. But second-hand bikes at the moment are changing for incredible money. Very, very good money on second-hand bikes. So I'd always say make sure you haggle, but if you're looking at a second-hand bike, just obviously look at the owner. Make sure the bike's not been ragged within an inch of its life, which is what we see on a lot of 125s. Absolute rolling sheds they are. Some are in very, very good condition where the owners have looked after them. Others are absolutely rolling sheds, no maintenance on them, rusted to hell, bits hanging off the bike or cable ties everywhere, and they're still expecting good money for it. If you're going to look after your bike, it will look after you, and if you maintain it and look after it correctly, it will hold its resale value. As I always say, ask on some of the forums, ask on the Facebook pages, check it all out, and that is the easiest thing to do. There we go, into neutral as we sit and wait for the lights. Now if you happen to be into extra rider training and you fancy a little bit more experience, if you are a full license holder, there is a very, very good group called BBN, Beds, Bucks and Northants Advanced Motorcyclists, or Advanced Motorcycle Riders, which I am a member, and it is a very, very good group. So what they do, they meet at Starbucks at the Place up in central Milton Keynes every Sunday. So if you happen to be a full licence holder, have a wander up there. They meet for about 9:15, set out from about 9:30. 1 week is a training ride, and then every other week is a social ride. And obviously I haven't been for about 3 weeks due to the fact that killed my shoulder. And obviously I had a run to Super Sausage on Sunday, but that was a very, very short run. Riding with those guys, you tend to ride for about 4 hours. So I decided obviously not to have a long ride after my shoulder's healed. But it's just nice to be back on the bikes again. And it was just a simple fact that I'd rode too many sports bikes in one day. I ended up with a frozen shoulder. And it's very similar to sportsman's injury, tennis elbow, very similar to that. So just overdid it slightly on a Saturday before I went on holiday. But I've had a week to obviously recoup, get myself back up to speed, and I am back out riding and vlogging again. Now a couple of videos obviously before we wind up and head back to the garage. Rhythmic Biker and Uncle Red decided to go up Milton Keynes and try out some of these e-scooters. Go and check out that YouTube video, because it is hilarious. They're all in full bike gear with crash helmets, and obviously Kinjal's riding with them as well. What do they think of e-scooters? Should they be licensed from the road? Should you need to do a CBT or do some sort of training before you take them out? Because you can literally walk down, chuck your provisional out, and we'll chuck some ID and go and take an e-scooter out. Good idea for getting you from A to B. You can hire it for about an hour and then obviously just dump it on the side of the road. Right, done with it, leaving it there, that'll do. But when it comes to safety, you see a lot of people just flitting around in obviously shorts and a t-shirt, no crash protection on them. And I'd hate to think what would happen if you fell off one of those e-scooters, you hit a bump or you lost control of it and you go and lob yourself down the road. It's going to be the same as lobbing yourself down the road on a motorcycle. And obviously Rhythmic Red and Kinjal all had their bike gear on with their crash helmets. And go and watch the video. People are giving them quite funny looks, but yeah, better to have all the gear all the time, as I say, at gap, all the gear, all the time. And it does obviously protect you if you do happen to fall off. But it's a very, very good video to go and watch. They have been off touring. They've been up to the, I think the Lake District they went on their last tour. And hopefully I shall meet up with them, go and have a ride with Uncle Red and Rhythmic before long. Go and do the obligatory Dunstable Downs run or something like that, and obviously Kinjal can now get out with them. She's going to be on this 125. I've got a load more bikes coming out this week. Mohammed had his LXR last week. Unfortunately, I was on holiday, so I didn't get to actually meet him in person, but he absolutely loves the bike. And if you happen to be watching this video, Mohammed, drop us a comment down the bottom, let us know how you're getting on with that LXR. As I always say, people that buy bikes, you know, they do follow my feed, and it's nice just to have a little bit of feedback, how they're getting on a few months later, or how the bike's behaving. So don't forget, down the bottom, stick your comments down there. We're all good with 10 miles in. Happy days. Very happy with the performance of the bike. So I am now heading back to the garage for that obligatory cup of coffee and my early morning cigarette. Get the bikes out and obviously get this one in for prep and clean, and my Tuesday morning meetings. Go and sit in meetings and do all my figures and find out what we're doing for the week. Sound of that engine does sound good though, and she corners are absolutely beautiful. Nice steady 30 into town we go. You stay there, Mr. Lorry, thank you very much. Got my eye on you. And that is another thing we always say, watch all those junctions that you get to. Side of a vehicle, that is the easiest thing to obviously keep your eye out for. Let's sit here, wait for the lights to change. Nice little display on these LXRs as well, so you've got your telltales to the left and to the right. Takes forever for these lights to change. And if you happen to be a football fan, that is the Milton Keynes Dons Stadium. Don't know if there's been much football going on this week, but obviously behind that you've got all the big shops. If you happen to be a traveller to Milton Keynes, there are loads and loads of big shops. That is all the retail park just sat over there. So you've got Next, M&S, and all the theatre district, all the restaurants, Don Stadium, and then obviously the other side, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And then just down the road you've obviously got the giant Asda, the IKEA, and the second retail park, which is in Bletchley with all the Tesco's and everything. And then just at the top of the hill you have Eclipse Motorcycles and Eclipse Autos. So Bletchley's quite a big area, hence why we get a lot of people from this area obviously coming down. And these lights are taking forever and a day to change. Let's go, people. They will change in a minute. Either that or they are stuck. So, as we head back to the garage, as I was saying, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And no doubt Master Venger is going to leave his comments on sports bikes like he normally does. He's probably obviously working his way through the half an hour fuel thing that I did. Fuel shortage? What fuel shortage? But obviously watch out for Master Venger's comments, because everything he says is so spot on. As an older rider, he knows what he's talking about, and he's had quite a few bikes in his lifetime, more than I care to mention. Good God, the queue for fuel is absolutely massive again. Time to check the braking. Coming in on that front brake, absolutely spot on. Yep, there is a queue for fuel again. Fuel shortage or a full shortage? See plenty of fools there, all queuing for fuel. Absolute idiots, a lot of them. I'm just going to top my tank up and put another fiver in. Yeah, there is absolutely no issues with fuel at all at the moment, but everybody seems to be being a bit of a numpty when it comes to putting fuel in their vehicles. If you all stop queuing, there wouldn't be a fuel shortage, and probably half of these have already got half a tank of fuel. So all good on the bike. She's running nice. She's got plenty of fuel in her. From the off. Pulls absolutely perfectly through the box. "11 miles on the bike." Exactly what I want. We normally put about 12 to 15 on every bike we do. And just clicking down through the box with the clutch in, absolutely spot on. Changes absolutely smooth and on the button, which is something I do tend to check the brakes out, give it an absolutely good ride. And I don't tend to ride a bike within an inch of its life. Crawler. Through the box once again. And me is going to shift lanes because I am turning right. Let's see if Mr. Vanboy stays in the correct lane. So leaning the bike into the corner, getting the tyres nicely scrubbed. Oh, lo and behold. Hence why I tend to hang back from vehicles on roundabouts. Totally the wrong lane. And yes, is he going to indicate? No. Another one that obtained his licence out of a cereal packet. So as I say, if you enjoyed the video, thumbs up or thumbs down, doesn't really bother me. Comments down the bottom please. Let me know what you think of the LXRs, LXSs, what you've been up to this week. Be good to know. As always, notifications bell. Go and check out them Motovloggers that I told you about, Rhythmic Biker, Uncle Red. And you can also check out Jim Diesel, his hunt for fuel, Clown World, as he calls it. So let us know what you think of a few of those Motovloggers. They're all listed down in the description down below on every video. I am going to head back, cup of coffee, cigarette, and prep myself up for the day. We are out shooting bikes later today, so I should be out on the VFR 800. Thank you very much. And until the next time, guys, whatever you're doing, be well, ride safe, and as always, it is a big goodbye from me.